Hi, my name is David O'Brien, and
I'm Courtney O'Brien.
we are here to talk to you today about the number one question that we hear, which is, how is Hidden Fence of Minnesota Pet Stop different from Invisible Fence brand? So, the number one difference, as far as I'm concerned, is that our pet fence will never, ever, ever shock your dog at the highest level for 10 seconds if they leave the yard. And that's exactly what the Invisible Fence brand Boundaries Plus system is designed to do. So please understand, know what you're buying before you buy it. They will never tell you the truth about how their system works. They will say things like, it gently reminds the dog to come back. They will say that the dog gets a free pass to come back in, all kinds of stuff like that. That is very, very deceptive communication as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to leave it at that. We're going to focus the remainder of this video on how Pet Stop systems are safer by design and the features that we have that are completely exclusive to Pet Stop. Nobody else has these features. So we're going to start with our rechargeable receivers, which we have the the Ecolite and the Link Ecolite. And both are basically the same size and shape. It's just that one has Bluetooth connectivity to your phone and the other one does not. So we'll talk a little bit more about that here in a minute. So I'm going to have Courtney put the Ecolite into the charging cradle and show you how that recharges. These collars are designed to run 3 weeks on a charge, and what you're seeing right now is the diagnostic test, which is about the first 5 seconds after you put it in the cradle. That's similar to taking your car into a mechanic and having them put the scope on, and they tell you what's wrong with the car. If it comes up flashing green and you heard the beeps, everything's good. So Pet Stop designed this purposely because, number one, the collar is rechargeable. And if that cell on the inside ever stops holding a charge, you want to know that.
Right.
If the collar stops correcting for some reason, you want to know that. You don't need to go out and zap yourself with a collar to prove that it works or not. So that's, the diagnostic charging base is one of the biggest differences between us and every other company out there. You'll notice here over one of these collars here, the green strap has the little red flashing light. That's our low charge indicator, which alerts you that it's time to recharge. That also will show up on your phone app if you have the Link app. It'll tell you that you need to charge, and I'll show you that here in a moment. So we've talked about the diagnostic charging base, the rechargeability, the Bluetooth connectivity with Link, and I'm just going to go over to the Link app here and show this. This is exclusive to Pet Stop, Bluetooth connectivity. Nobody else has that. We can connect to multiple receivers at once. So if you have 2 or 3 or 4 dogs, you can have, as you can see here on my display, I have a couple collars connected. And I'm going to just do a little demonstration here. I've got the black collar here connected. And if I press the button, you can hear it activating as I use the remote trainer, which is kind of cool. I'm going to flip the night light on and show a demonstration of how that works. So you let the dog out at night and you want to know where the dog is, you can flip the night light on. See that?
That's cool.
And then we have the remote trainer scale on the left, which is, Fluffy is digging holes in the yard, misbehaving, and you're tired of yelling at Fluffy. You can adjust the correction scale on the side over here to whatever level you want. And if you want to give Fluffy a little bit of a corrective nick, you can do that. Otherwise, you can just hit the warning button, and that warning tone enough generally will solve the problem.
Sure, because it's the same sound they hear at the fence, right?
Exactly, same sound. And if you do the nick, it's going to be an instantaneous little correction, and it will not be the same level as the correction level of the collar. Because we don't want to hit the dog with that kind of a correction for just a behavioral. It doesn't need to be that high. The other thing about the Link app is if we go to settings here, we can see what the Gentle Steps correction level is set to. And if we want to go from level 2 to 3, we just hit the plus key and you can see the collar is reacting, and now it's at level 3.
Awesome.
So it's pretty cool. And then when you go back here, you can see the history, which this is very, very helpful information. When you go check your history, you can see how many times Fluffy has challenged the boundary, which means if you're still only at level 3, you may need to go to level 4 or 5, depending on where you're at in the training. We don't advise people use the history screen during training. We advise that they wait till, probably after 3-4 weeks after training is done, and then start monitoring, because the dog is still getting used to the boundary.
Sure.
And once the dog is used to the boundary, there's going to be fewer and fewer instances where they're going to challenge it. But if you're noticing some things, you're going to want to be watching this history screen, and that's going to help you know at what point you need to maybe go higher.
Right.
And a lot of people will find out after 2 or 3 weeks, if they've stopped at level 5 or 6, that's generally not a containment level.
Sure.
But that's where the history comes in. So that's very helpful information. And then we can go back to the remote trainer screen. So these are to me the really important things that differentiate us from the competition. Nobody else has these features. A lot of people are talking to us about the text and email alerts. Are you hearing that from people? Okay.
Yeah. It's usually your tip off of they're looking and they just want to know about the product and exactly what they're going to get. So
we have the Bluetooth connectivity. Nobody else has that. The other guys have the email and text alerts. I think it's hilarious. We're in the containment business. We should be containing the dog. Why do you need a text or email alert if you're actually containing the dog?
Sure.
And with the other brand that has the super expensive batteries that you can only replace through them or you avoid the warranty, if the collar doesn't have the battery in it or the battery's dead, which a lot of those customers run like that because they don't want to buy batteries, you're not going to get a text alert because there's nothing to react with the boundary.
Sure.
So we're eventually going to have the text and email alerts. We haven't focused on that because, quite frankly, I don't think it's a very useful feature. This is not meant to be a babysitter where you put the dog outside for 6 hours at a time and you don't watch them. If you're out in the yard with your dog playing, throwing the ball or whatever, dog sees a squirrel and decides to make a break for it, and they get out of the yard, do you need a text alert to tell you that? No, you're seeing it happen. That's not going to be the case, but for the most part, the text and email alerts, I think, have some benefits if you have like a nanny or somebody that's at home or a babysitter that's at your house and you want to know what's going on when you're not there. That might be helpful, but it's not going to be something that's going to be used on a daily basis. Hopefully not.
Once you're through training, it's like that would be the only useful part. It's like just in training, and that's a very short time considering how long you'll have the fence. It's like, are you paying more just for that feature that you're going to use for like a week or 2 weeks? Definitely doesn't make sense.
So eventually we will have it. There's some supply chain issues that are impeding us from that right now, which hopefully will be resolved soon, and we'll have the ability to put the Wi-Fi into our transmitter and have those. Once we have that, there's a lot of things that are going to be really cool that we're going to be able to do that nobody else in the industry will be able to do. So those things are coming, but at this point in time, we just want to be transparent, let you know that we don't have text and email alerts, and I really don't think it's a big deal, honestly.
They'd be able to upgrade at that time too?
Yes, we make it very easy when we don't have something available and it's coming and you need to upgrade or you want to, we'll make it very simple and easy to do that.
Okay.
You're not going to have to get a new receiver or anything like that. It's strictly going to be a transmitter issue.
Sure.
So anyhow, that's what we wanted to cover, and with PetStop, particularly with Hidden Fence in Minnesota, with us, you'll find that our response times to your questions about any of these issues, when you send us a message or text us or call us, you're going to be able to get a very quick response, and you're going to get an honest answer. We're not going to duck and dodge around, cute little sayings. We're going to tell you exactly. We have nothing to gain by trying to persuade you to buy our fence. Because if there's something about what we're saying to you that we have to be even the slightest bit deceptive about, you're going to figure it out and you're going to get a refund from us. I mean, it's just the way it works. So we want you to know the truth, the facts up front, so that you can make a good, solid decision and decide who you want to be your fence provider. So thank you very much, and we look forward to doing more of these videos. And if you have any questions, get a hold of us. Thank you.
Thank you.